Welcome to the FMSP online revision. This session is for AQA M1. We're looking at a question on momentum, question 3 from June 2010. So the question says, two particles A and B are moving on a smooth horizontal plane when they collide. The mass of A is 6 kilograms and the mass of B is m kilograms. Before the collision, the velocity of A is given by the vector 2, 4, and the velocity of B by the vector 3, negative 2. After the collision, the velocity of A is given by the vector 1, 3, and the velocity of B is given by 7b. So we're asked in part A to find the mass m of this particle B. Here we haven't been given, and in part B we're asked to find the value of the y component of the velocity vector of B after the collision. So let's have a little look. So what we're doing here, we've got these two particles, A, which has mass 6 and has a velocity vector of 2, 4, and then it collides with a particle B, which we don't know the mass, m, but initially it has a velocity of 3, negative 2. And that's before the collision. Then they collide, and what happens this time is that you then have A, again with mass 6, will have a velocity of 1, 3, and B, which again the mass is m, has velocity of 7b. We don't know what the y component is, so we're letting that be b. So this was the initial velocity, and then these were the final velocities after the collision. So remember, the whole principle of all momentum questions that you're doing is that in a collision, momentum is conserved. So what we can write down here is that the total momentum before is equal to the total momentum after the collision. So the momentum of A, mass times velocity, will be 6 lots of 2, 4, plus the momentum of B, which has a mass of m and a velocity of 3, negative 2, then that is going to be equal to the total momentum after the collision. So that's mass times the velocity plus mass times velocity again of B. So that, if you like, is our momentum equation. That's the important thing that you need to be able to write down. Now, in part A, we're asked to find m, the mass of particle B, and in part B we're asked to find this y component. I don't know quite why it's got a minus in there now, because it didn't have initially, it's just a b. We're asked to find this y component. So let's think about how we might do that. So I've written the equation again up here. So if you think you've got a horizontal and a vertical component for each of them, so what we could do is we could equate. Now you could call it the horizontal components, or if you're using i's and j's, if you prefer that, then you could actually use, you could say equate the I components, but I'm just doing it horizontally. So you're going to have 6 times 2, which is 12, plus m times 3, which is 3m, and that will be equal to 6 times 1, which is 6, plus 7 times m, and that means now we have, if you like, an equation just involving m. So that means that 6 is equal to 4m, and m is equal to 1.5. So that will be 1.5 kilograms. And in exactly the same way now, what we can do is we can equate the vertical components. And what that gives us now is, especially now we know that M is, then it's just going to be this one unknown here, this B. So again, we're going to have 6 times 4, which is 24, plus M times negative 2, but M of course is 1.5, so that's minus 3, and that's going to be equal to 6 times 3, which is 18, plus M times B. And that means we have over here 21, take away this 18 is equal to 3. M is 1.5, so that's 1.5b. So B is equal to 2. So now we know that this second particle, B, has a mass of 1.5 kilograms, and the vertical component of its velocity vector after the collision is 2. So if we look at how the marks were awarded for that question, then basically you're getting a method and an accuracy mark up here for writing out your momentum equation using that total momentum is conserved. You're getting an accuracy mark here for equating the horizontal components, and another one for finding the mass. And then here you're getting a mark, B mark, which is based on a follow through. So if you did make a mistake somewhere, as long as you did the equating of vertical components correctly, you'll get a mark. And then another mark for working out B equals 2. So both of those marks were follow through marks. So if you made a mistake up here, you would still get them. So that means that you have got, for that question in total, 6 marks. So if you want to watch any other revision videos, then just go to the FMSP website and follow the link to online revision.